What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Olivia, Leeroy, and myself are in the house tonight. Amy is not. Ethan is across state lines over at the beach in Ocean Beach. And Hayden is doing something fun, I'm sure.
Yeah, we don't have children anymore.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember from the 80s, those commercials that would run? It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Do you remember those?
Yeah, I remember. I do.
Yeah.
Yep, Taylor Swift, Megyn Kelly is going to be on the show tonight. Not like we're not going to have Taylor Swift and Megyn Kelly. I mean, that would, what a farking show that would be.
Wouldn't that be nice?
God, can you imagine? We'd have 20 million people watching. Everybody want to see that cat fight.
I'd love to see those two in a cage match. Yeah.
Yeah, with like mud from the movie Stripes, with Tank.
Green Jello. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Grr. I don't know. There's not enough meat on those bones for either of them. I'm just saying. Trump derangement syndrome's in full swing. Going to show you a video that you're not supposed to see when it comes to late night talk show hosts. Melania Trump. We got a bunch of stuff. Dad getting ticked off about a flag. Patrick Mahomes talking. Mary Trump. Ugh, she looks like a foot. Sorry. Chick looks like a big toe. We'll be back in 4 seconds. No, 3 minutes, actually. I lied. No, 4. That's right. Red Friday. I want to say happy Friday 13th to everybody.
Oh, it's Friday the 13th. I didn't realize
Vimkin.
that.
Go over to vimkin.com. www.vimkin.com. If you haven't been there, it's a hoot, I tell you. Rabbis and insults are all there. We're having a good time at Vimkin. Absolutely. Rocky Marciano. He beat Joe Lewis's ass. He did beat Joe Lewis's ass. Damn, man, that was pretty good.
That was. Is Wimkin up yet?
I don't know, but that was pretty good. I'm like playing that back in my head. I'm like, dude, that did sound like Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy. Wow. We're live now. We good to go?
I mean, look.
Call it. Call the ball, Maverick. Hurry up.
Maverick has the ball.
We are good.
Maverick has the ball. We were inverted. Victoria Robinson Lewis, it's been a while. Good to see you back.
So confused, you feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's
I did notice. I noticed you the other night. I just didn't say anything. But before that, you weren't on, right? Right? Victoria Robinson Lewis. Is that not correct? I did notice. I just got preoccupied last night. So were you here all the week before? Week before that? What about the week before that? Well, no, Matt. I'm kind of gone for a little while. I haven't stopped by in a long time. Oh, well, then welcome back. Matt, am I on Wimkin? Yeah, I hope so. We got a contract. Are we on Wimkin, Liv?
It should be.
All right. Yeah. So I think so. So Victoria Robinson Lee. Yeah.
3 names. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little, I'm waiting for her response. I'm not going anywhere. We're stopping the show for her. Your brains is brawn and a little thumb twiggling against 15 men. I've only had a wheelbarrow. Now that would be something.
It's going to be one of those shows, huh?
I have a feeling. Nope, she's not saying anything. Victoria, we love you. Welcome back. Bite me. I was last week too. Whatever. Well, I didn't notice.
Hey, Hog Twins here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The DUM Show and his website. Yeah, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
What the hell is this? I'm not supposed
Wow.
to be here. I'm not even supposed to be here. What the hell's going on? I mean, it's supposed to be Red Friday. Well, I mean, where is it? Hold on, I gotta find it. I don't even know where it's at. Oh, Lord. You know, one of these days, I swear.
One of those shows.
We're gonna hire a tech crew. Red Friday, here it is.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back.
Kirsty Castle Rose. What a name. My name's Kirsty Castle. Why am I cutting in and out? Test 1, 2. Kirsty Castle Rose. Say that 3 times real fast.
Those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. I want to talk to you about Wimkin.com. Now, Jason Shepard and the Wimkin team came into my life about a year and a half ago. They were saying that it's not a Twitter knockoff, that it's just like Facebook, it's fully encrypted, completely safe, and your privacy is paramount. You can live stream, it's 100% made in the USA. And I took a little time, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to make sure that this was the right company, and it took me a little bit to research and take part in the network, and I will tell you that I am 100% right behind Wimkin. Jason Shepard has created an amazing network where people who are sick and tired of being censored and pushed around by big tech, this doesn't happen on Wimkin. He protects your privacy, and he's willing to stand up to the government and anyone who tries to get it. He's already done it once. It doesn't make him very popular, and that's why he needs shows like us and people like you to support him, to get behind him, and to ensure that the most important thing that we all possess is the right to freedom of speech and to share our voices across this great country. Join Wimkin over at wimkin.com today.
Transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, Leeroy, do we have any troops that are in combat areas overseas that you're aware of?
Boy, I'd love to be able to tell you that, but you know you're not supposed to ask me.
Yep, and I'm not supposed to go ahead and say it either. So we're just going to go ahead and let whatever detachment this
But I can
is
give you
speak.
the old Fight Club wink.
Yeah, no, I could. Well, we could always tell you which which countries they're not in, if that helps you. How about this? How about we just let some American servicemen tell you what I told you during. Thank you. Oh, Frank. Thanks, Frank. That's the way to start out the night.
Thank you, Frank.
Frank,
Hell
that's
yeah.
what we need. That's the type of passion we need tonight, man. Yes. This is the way. This is the way for me to go into the weekend. We need it, folks. If you don't know, linktapgo.com/thedumshow. We are 100% funded by you. Frank started us off. Listen, if everyone gave $1, we'd make our goal for the night. That's the way it works. But we need your help. If you can help us, we're right here for you. But first, let's watch this. We're going to let American servicemen and women do the talking. Liv, you got to watch this. This is just classic.
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world the first time this century. What? But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
That's funny.
Yeah, it's oh shit.
Adjusting transmitter
Well, I will
output.
tell you, I agreed with President Biden.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia.
Enough. Knock it off.
Dude,
My
where's that
God.
video at? I'm going to share the shit out of that.
Well, you know me. I'll get it for you. You just got to ask me after show. Yeah, and listen, it's pretty sad when pretty much everything that we know so much more than Kamala Harris, what we have forgotten, she doesn't even scratch the tip of that. It's ridiculous. I can name every single country. I can tell you which units are there. If you spend any time in the military, you know, you don't talk about certain deployments. We don't talk about certain people in country, but you're not going to sit here and pretend that there aren't anyone that are in combat zones right now. That is one of the biggest lies that I've heard in a while.
That should let everyone know that your vice president doesn't know where our combat troops are.
And she's also a liar. She's a liar.
Yeah.
She lied so much. I just did a video. Leeroy, you got to go see it. It basically breaks down why the middle class and lower class should never vote Democrat. It's pretty good. I've gotten this thing where I just get in front of the breakfast table in the morning and I don't write anything and I just talk. And it's been feeling really good. And the interactions are up. So people, I think that they see 3 hours or they see 20 hours of this a week right here in this room. So getting out and getting on the front patio and just recording has been doing really well. But you should listen to the show. It's pretty good.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Tommy Cawthorn said, Leeroy, how far are you from Springfield? Well, as it turns out, Springfield is a combat zone. And because I'm not there, I can't tell you that I'm actually about 30 minutes from it. So
he's just a cat throw away.
That's right.
Cat tossing away. But I was gonna do your sound panel today. That's what I gotta fix tomorrow. I'm gonna put it on your keypad, Liv, and get it off your computer. So I'm gonna get all your sound. I'm gonna give you beautiful, huge, beautiful, greatest buttons ever. The
biggest buttons that have ever been buttonized.
Everyone's saying it. This is the buttons. Some people even say they might be the best buttons ever. They're holy double dollar signs.
Thank you, Venny.
Yenny says don't eat.
Yenny. Sorry, I don't
That's
have
my
glasses
cat.
on.
Yeah, Venny don't eat me. $10.80. All right. So things are good, man. Things interesting. We got a lot going on. Oh, do we have a lot? Oh boy. We had a lady come on. She was talking. Oh boy, she was talking about abortion. It was a really good conversation, and she's just like, pro-abortion. It needs to be open and unfettered, and I'm like, no. And she's like, pro-choice, and I said, you mean pro-murder, or pro-death, because she's like, there's no such thing as late-term abortions, and I said the term is just propaganda. Well, she said it's propaganda is what she was saying. The term. And because thank you, Christine. And, so I was listening to her. I'm like, I can understand one's a medical term and okay. But then if we're going to go ahead and exchange propaganda in the pro-life, pro-choice conversation, then you got to stop using pro-choice because it's not pro-choice. It's pro-death. And she's like, you know what? That's fair.
She
goes,
I read a study the other day when Kamala had made that statement that there's no women in the United States that are in their 8th and 9th month getting abortions. It's just not happening. You're lying, Mr. Trump. Stop lying. Why are you lying? Right.
Bullshit.
And as she was saying that, I went ahead and looked up the numbers. There's about 1,037,000 abortions done per year. And of that, the CDC actually said less than 1% of those happen between the 8th and the 9th month. When you do the math on that, that's anywhere between 5 and 10,000 babies that are killed in their 8th and 9th month.
And out of that 5 to 10,000, another interesting stat, which is really, really important, is that if you go to the NIH and CDC and you look at the medical journals, they say 75%, 25%, and 30%. I'm like, that's like 114%, 140%. What the hell are you guys talking about? Are due to medical emergencies. And I'm like, no, it's not, because you can't be disingenuous. Because if you go to the actual same stats that Leeroy just pulled up, that it's 1%, which is pretty authentic of Leeroy and myself for admitting that, it will also say that it's an infinitesimal amount that are used for medical emergency at that level, like 0.02% of those 10,000. They are used because of lack of care or convenience. So if you're going to be honest, you better be honest the whole way around. So either way, why are we even discussing this? If it's a medical emergency, we understand those things. I don't think most people have a problem. But when you use it for birth control or you use it for a late term, my husband or my boyfriend left me and he went back to his wife and now I'm going to go ahead and kill this kid because of it, you're a POS. And I don't mean point of sale. Okay.
I have made that argument several times online with people because people just want to, clutch their pearls and go immediately to the other extreme of your argument. And so by me going ahead and quoting the Declaration of Independence that, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that whole argument that I've made crystal clear several times, that's me basically saying, hey, look, this is the foundation of the government. If we're going to have abortion, and I think, it absolutely should be legal in some aspects, but we have to default on the side of life, and everything else we need to figure out, where that line lands. And if you happen to live in a state that says, hey, it's up to a 6-week ban, I can get behind that. I can get behind it if so long as it's not being used as a secondary form of birth control.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like 6 weeks. You can't even know until 4 weeks. Okay, if you're having copious amounts of sex, and you know what? We're not going to talk about this. It comes down to this. We've beaten this topic. This is not about this. This election has nothing to do with abortion right now. It's already back at the states. If you don't like your state, run for office. If you don't want to run for office, fucking move. Sorry. I'm sorry. Even if you have to fly to another state and get an airline ticket or drive, it's going to be less than the cost of a child, which is up to like $500,000 per kid. So float the $500 for the airline ticket. Go ahead and get your stupid abortion and stop complaining. Maybe you should have thought of that before you had sex. I mean, contraceptives, folks. How hard is this? How difficult is this? This isn't 1950 where you're in the back seat with Bobby Joe and Peggy Sue decides to go ahead and go past third base and, with her clothes on, gets pregnant. Okay. No. Okay. Give me a break. Liv, what's this little meme you got here? So you sent to us. You want to walk me through this stuff?
Yeah. Just, before you let Taylor Swift influence your vote, may I just remind you that 90% of her hit songs are about choosing the wrong person.
So you sent this to me. What's the reason? What's the crux?
Because majority of her songs are all about her exes.
Well, I know that, but why are we talking about it?
Because she has endorsed Kamala Harris and said she's coming out and voting for Kamala Harris.
Yeah. What does that entail?
Well,
Did
it
she say
entails
why?
her. As far as I know, I think it was her stance on Tim Walls's LGBTQ stance or something like that. Something about the LGBTQ rights. I'm not exactly sure, but something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
But her millions upon millions upon millions of loyal followers that will follow her to the ends of the earth, and everything she says is gospel. And these young kids who've never voted before, who are, just turned 18 or 19, they're going to listen to her. And she's got an influence in these young people. And it's really sad.
Yeah, she does. But I'm going to tell you why that influence doesn't mean anything. But Liv, why don't you go ahead and read this for us?
Yeah, you're going to have to blow that one up. Okay.
I don't do
Blow
the
it up.
blowing in this. I don't do the blowing in this family. Go ahead and you read
Okay.
you read this for us, and I'll scroll.
All right. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she is steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. I've done my research and I've made my choice. Your research is all yours to do, and the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially to the first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early. I'll link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story. With love and hope, TS.
Here's the first thing. You go ahead and take her entire network, of like, it's an ungodly number. It's like 186 million people. And then you take the amount of people she registered of those people, and it's like 0.0026% of her entire network. And then out of that 0.0026%, you have to go ahead and figure out how many of them are under 18, which is more than half. Then you have to go ahead and figure all the other things out, right? Are they engaged? Are they going to vote? People don't vote for celebrities. I'm just letting you know. If people voted for celebrities, then Republicans would never win, because Hollywood and the music industry and novelists and screenwriters, they're always behind because they're liberal arts. So everyone needs to calm down. Taylor Swift is important, but not that important. Here's the video, and I have a little crush on Megyn Kelly. I'm not going to lie. She's kind of
She's hot.
She's hot, and she's smart, and I kind of always liked her. She's putting on. She's a little thin now. I need her to plump up a little bit. So if you wouldn't mind, Megan, put on a few pounds, but just for me, and not a lot, maybe 5 would be good. But still smoking, in my opinion. And when she does this stuff, it's really, when she says "mother f," or she goes "f this," it's so funny. It's hilarious. All right, here's Megyn Kelly just destroying Taylor Swift.
As though I have that power. Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift, yeah.
And I think
she posts a picture of herself.
It's kind of the voice. I'm just letting you know, it's kind of the voice. The voice is better than I
like her longer hair.
She looks good. The voice is good though. Voice is definitely good.
With her cat.
Oh, I thought about recreating that picture, putting on the lipstick and everything. Just, I swear, I was going to with Yenny. I don't know why.
Oh, you should totally do it.
That'd be sweet.
I think I will.
Dude, look at this. You can,
Of course.
I'm like, you can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye, Taylor. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them. And this is what she posts. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now's a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about the proposed policies, etc. Recently, I was made aware that an AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's president.
Okay, she's going to read the letter.
Everything that Olivia just read, right?
Right. If Megyn Kelly were to come on the show, like people are saying right now, I think I would be redder than Olivia's background wall, and I would have to leave. I don't think I could handle it. I don't. I think she's she's super intimidating. She's wicked smart, and yeah, oh yeah, dude. Yes, she's got balls of brass, dude, and she knows her facts. She's extremely passionate, and if she doesn't respect you, she will crush you. I think she's probably one of the best. I thought she handled Trump beautifully when she did the Fox debates, or what was it? I thought she did well. Loved her show, and I think her podcast is fantastic. So no, I mean, I'm not intimidated in the sense that it's like, oh, it's Megyn Kelly, I won't debate her. It's like, oh my God, it's Megyn Kelly, and she's slightly intimidating.
The little celebrity crush thing.
I think that's more of what it is. It's like I would have a boner the whole time, and I don't know if I could focus. That's probably why. Olivia, I love you. You know this. This is like if Ryan Reynolds came in, you would. I mean,
Love you,
I'd have to hide
Ryan
my
Reynolds
boner.
is here.
Yeah, the desk would turn into stirrups. So, anyway, here's the rest. Oh, maybe. Come on. Oh, come on. Listen, dude, Twitter sucks. I am just like so disappointed in the ultimate crap that Twitter is. I mean, seriously.
Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift, we are led by IVF off their body parts to take custody. So this woman is fine with his plan to take custody of the children from parents who don't want them to chop off their body parts and put them in Minnesota court's custody so the body parts can be chopped off and they can be sterilized outside the custody of their parents. That's what led Taylor Swift to endorse him. Can I tell you something? I criticized her about 6 months ago when she came out strongly in favor of, she went to a fundraiser to raise money for Hamas, supposedly Palestinians, but the group that was doing the fundraising was known to funnel the money to Hamas. And I said, people should boycott her. It was an offhanded comment. People went nuts. Some lunatic dropped a note in my personal mailbox outside my house begging me not to boycott Taylor Swift, as though I have that power. I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a shit who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz.
Say it slower. Say it slower.
Dance
I'm almost
on
there.
LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion.
Is this what I sound like when I go on my rants, but not as hot?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
okay, thanks.
Yes.
Dollar mansions, never to think of them again. Emily, this is unbelievable. The left is losing its mind. She signed it Taylor Swift, childless cat lady.
Well, I got that part right.
So,
Oh my goodness, that's freaking funny.
That's why she's intimidating, because if you get in her crosshair, she'll F you up, man. I don't listen. I like Taylor Swift. I actually, some of the songs my daughter plays on the piano, they get in my head, and I actually like Taylor Swift's music. Olivia and I love 1989. We thought that was a great album, and I'm a big fan. I can't stand her politics, and you know, it's like, fine, endorse Kamala Harris, that's fine. Sure. But you instructing, like, everyone was waiting for, like, you even went after Obama, for God's sakes. I mean, seriously, lady. So I don't know. I don't take her seriously. Will it change some votes? Probably as much as Russia changed 2016 votes, is my personal opinion. Olivia, Leeroy, your thoughts on this outside of what we just talked about? What else?
Oh,
Liv,
I don't
you
know.
go first.
I just think that big celebrities, and I know it doesn't make a massive difference, but I think they need to keep their mouths shut. And I know everyone's got free speech, but I don't think it's right. I think it needs to go back to the day where you kept what political affiliation you were quiet, and that you didn't tell anyone who you were voting for, and you did your own research. And I think it needs to go back. That it's going to be less divisive in the country, and it's going to bring us back together, because that is the main reason that the country hates each other right now, is their political parties and their political beliefs, in my opinion.
Yeah, you remember that video in the mockumentary when she's sitting down with her dad and she's like, I just feel like I need to say something. I feel like, and her dad's just like, are you sure? Because, this might bounce back. And this was like in 2019. Even Hayden is like, yeah, she needs to shut up. And Hayden loves Taylor Swift, loves. But my daughter's a conservative, and she has decided that that's who she is. And she disagrees with this stuff, but whatever. Leeroy, your quick take, and then I want to segue right into Patrick Mahomes, because now he just basically said what Olivia did, which means you got to root for the Kansas City Chiefs. Go ahead, Leeroy.
So it's a lot like what happened with Robert De Niro, right? And what happens is when you have stars that have a platform and an opinion, people will pay attention because they genuinely think that they either know them because of their work, like that somehow Taylor Swift has a personal connection with 10 million screaming girls, right? She's just writing songs, and you think you know her because you like the words to her songs. It's not how it works. And in this case, this is just another billionaire queen of the flat asses with a private jet who's running all around the globe, killing the earth with her jet fuel. And who's almost certainly all her merch is made in China, and she is just using you people.
Do you know what her carbon footprint is?
I don't.
Did you look? No. Okay, never mind.
Well, no, I think my point is that she's a hypocrite. The whole point.
I was going to help you. I was going to help you show that she was a hypocrite even more, but you don't give a shit, so it's fine. Nobody else.
I already know she's a hypocrite.
Yeah, I know, but
I already knew it.
But we're an edgy. You know what, folks? You already know everything. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.
What's your carbon footprint?
You already know. No,
I said I didn't give a shit.
I know, but you giving a shit and not giving a shit is immaterial to the show. We got to help other people not give a shit, and the only way we can do that is educate them. Anyway, the average person has like a overall carbon footprint of like 2. Okay, so that's what they contribute to the overall. Now, what this standard means, I can't fucking tell you. I don't know what 2 means. But an example would be you go to work, you come home, you go to work, you come home, you go on vacation, and you come home, and then maybe you take a flight or 2. That's 2, okay? She's an 868 on the Al Gore carbon footprint. So all I'm trying to do is tell you is that she is a hypocrite. Leeroy's right, even though Leeroy doesn't care. Okay.
She's just a hypocrite. I knew that she was a hypocrite. That was.
I know, but they have to know it. They have to know.
And the fact that she is using things like China and private jets, and is if you really want to look at it from the people who hate capitalism, then quite literally, from your own definitions, Taylor Swift is stealing all your money.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
The hypocrisy of the left can only go so far before somebody has to call out their bullshit. And in the meantime, nobody is pushing back. They're just saying, yep, we're just going to absolutely vote for Kamala, Taylor,
It's also one other It's also one other little thing where, billionaires are bad unless they're the right type of billionaires. Unless it's someone you like. So oppressing people and, running sweatshops is really bad unless it's Taylor Swift or Apple or anyone else. So I always love their hypocrisy.
That needs to be a meme.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. Maybe but nobody will care. So what's the point? By the way, folks, I'm going to show you this Patrick Mahomes video. Nobody gives a shit. So, let's show it to you. Is it okay if we show it can we show Patrick Mahomes video, Leeroy? Do you care enough for us to show it?
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. This is Patrick Mahomes, quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason I bring it up is I love what he says here. Now, listen, I still think but he should sit the fuck down. All people in sports should shut up and just play. Okay. We don't care about your opinion. We don't care. The only thing we want to hear is why you lost or how you're going to replicate the win next week. That's really all hey, Maddie, thanks. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Matt.
So here's Patrick Mahomes. And I got to say, I'm not here to go, oh, since it's what I agree with, I love it. And that's not the case. But it is a decent message. Take a listen.
This is away from football, but former President Trump referenced you and your family again today on Fox News in relation to his campaign. I just wonder what your reaction is to seeing that.
Yeah, I think I've always said I don't want my place and my platform to be used to endorse a candidate or do whatever. Either way, I think my place is to inform people to get registered to vote. It's to inform people to do their own research and then make their best decision for them and their family. And so I think that's every time I'm on this stage and I get asked these questions, I'm going to refer back to that because I think that's what makes America so great.
I think it was important, though. I don't know if important is the right word, but when you were at the U.S. Open this past weekend and you guys...
Okay, this is where I could not be a superstar football player or I couldn't be Rush Limbaugh because this is what I would say. Did you fucking hear what I just said? Did you hear the words coming out of my mouth? I just told... There's no follow-up. It means shut up and move on. I would be the Tortorella of a celebrity. I couldn't do it because I would.
What if he had just said, "I didn't give a shit"? What if he had just said that? Would you jumped on him?
If only the whole world would be like Leeroy and just not care. Right? We've been through this before. Did this happen? Let's see. Leeroy's in a mood. We did this like 3 months ago where he said the same thing. He's like, "I don't give a shit. I don't care." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's not about you. It's about the viewer. Yeah, fuck them. I don't care."
Want to hear my thoughts or not?
No.
Is that an important image to show that, people who may have different philosophies can...
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always, even dating back, I think if you've seen my history, I've grown up with people from every aspect of life and every background. And I think the best thing about a football locker room and kind of how I've grown up in baseball locker rooms, everything about that is people can come together and achieve something and achieve a common goal. And I think if we can, I mean, we talked about it a while back, but I think if we can do that as a nation, I think we can get the best out of each other. And so I think that's something that I do every single day. And whenever I'm hanging out with whoever, I'm not thinking about their political views or anything like that. I'm thinking about the people and how they treat other people. And I was with a lot of great people this weekend.
Patrick, do you have a thought specifically about the idea of President Trump bringing up Britney's name? Does that affect?
No, he just told you
twice.
How many times Listen, I would be like, am I speaking Ebonics? What do you not understand with what I'm saying here?
One way or another.
No, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's
that
about
message.
Just ridiculous.
It's me and my family.
So what you mean is you care and you want everyone to go out and register to vote Democrat. That's what you're saying, right?
Hey, Patrick, I know you just got this question 5 seconds ago, but I'm wondering if you've had some time to reflect and change your mind between then and now.
And how we treat other people. And I think you see is that Brittany does a lot in the community. I do a lot in the community to help bring people up and give people other opportunities to use their voice. And so it's in the political times, people are going to use stuff here and there. But I can't let that affect how I go about my business every single day and live my life and try to live it to the best of my ability.
It's a great, okay, you're not, we have, yeah, okay, whatever. Shut up, Patrick. We have another question. So, listen, I don't like Kansas City, but I'll tell you, the guy's a great talent. He's an amazing quarterback, and he will be the next Tom Brady when it's all said and done. He's a phenomenal talent, and that's great. And I like his answer, and I like how he wasn't a jerk about it. So my thoughts are, Olivia Hayden loves Patrick Mahomes because she's a KC fan, and she loves Taylor Swift. And there's a dichotomy between the two where she's like, Taylor Swift kind of is annoying me, and I don't. Oh, very much. Holy shit! And Patrick yeah, raggy like G Scoob. And Patrick Mahomes is doing what he needs to do, which, see, that's how you do it. You just say, listen, my vote is mine. It's like when that guy called in, I don't remember, douchebag, whatever his name was. It's like, it's none of your business who my vote is. I mean, everyone knows who I'm voting for. I've got stickers. I mean, yeah, I'm a liberal. Of course you know who I'm voting for, but it's still none of your business. And that's the one thing I've never said on this show, who I'm voting for. And I'm not going to.
I just asked her to go, her Taylor Swift gear, to go look up the tag where it was made. She all ripped it off already, so she can't. I was going to see if it said made in China.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it more than likely is. All right, so we got so much to cover tonight. I want to get reactions on this because I've went and done it.
What'd you went and do?
I went and touched the no box. I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Is that true?
No, not that. That's the yes box. This is what I've done. And this monstrosity, 45-foot monstrosity, is coming to my house. Now, here's the reason why. My neighbor. Now, I'm gonna tell. Olivia's gonna start the story. We're gonna tell you a story.
Please tell me it's one of those giant inflatable balloons.
It's close. All right. So here's the Liv. Why don't you start the story? Well, walk them through. And now you can't do what you always do and be like, oh my God, I was out in the street and Hayden was there, and then oh my God, and this lady, and then we went home. You got to like tell the whole story. You got to set it up. What Hayden was doing, the stress we had. Okay, you ready? Go.
Yes. So this was, I think she was 11.
Okay, don't go that specific. Let's keep it going. We only have 2 hours.
Okay. Hayden was basically.
All right, now that's too fast. Now slow down. Okay, go ahead. No, you need to do more than that. You do more than that. It's got to pop up.
Outside is weather.
Okay, go ahead. We're doing a movie there, folks. Sorry. Go ahead, honey.
All right. So back in 2021, when Hayden was 11, she was pretty much being a shit. She was stealing. She was lying. She took our credit card and was taking stuff. She convinced her brother to steal from a store. I mean, she was not being a good kid. And we tried everything. And she just, there was nothing. I mean, nothing worked. One night we just had it and we went up into her room and we said, everything's going away. And I went through and I got all the keepsakes and the books and stuff like that. And we're like, keep your clothes. Everything's going in the trash. We dumped her entire room in the trash and made her take it up to the curb. So the next day,
27 bags
we
later.
reflected on it and we're like, oh, her jewelry was in there and there was some stuff in there that she probably wanted to keep. So we let her go up to the curb to go through the bags to pick out some of the stuff that she really wanted to keep.
After things cooled down.
Well, I'm up there with her looking for some stuff and our neighbor comes out. Trash isn't until Saturday. Yes, I know. What are you doing? None of your business. Well, can I help you? No, you cannot. Well, why are you going through the bags? Oh my God, lady. She wouldn't shut up. I said, she just 10 minutes of this. And I said, listen here, lady. I was like, our daughter's being punished. We emptied out her room. We don't need your help. Leave me alone.
She's just like, well, I can take your trash in the garage and hold it for you if you want to get it off the curb.
Then
I wasn't here, but you got to tell them that part.
Yeah.
That's important.
That she didn't tell me that to my face.
Oh.
She just said, oh, okay. So
that's right.
We came back down. We got all the stuff we needed, blah, blah, blah. She,
this is crazy.
Then sitting at dinner, I get a ding on my phone. I have a Facebook message.
And they're not friends on Facebook.
I'm not friends with her on Facebook. This means she Facebook stalked me. She found my profile and she messaged me and was like, if you need storage for her stuff, you can always bring it and store it in my garage. Oh my God. And she starts sending me messages about pretty much telling me what horrible parents we are, that we would throw out our daughter's stuff. And oh my gosh, I was like,
this is where
I was trying to be polite. I was trying to be politically correct and I was trying to be polite. And
you didn't say anything.
I didn't.
No. So I'm at the dinner table. I hear this and I'm like, what's wrong? What is going on? And she's like, hold on, I got to read this. And of course I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, read this. And I look at it and I'm like, who the fuck is this? She goes, our next door neighbor. I said, which next door neighbor? And she goes, the one right across from us. I'm like, the Mexican people? She's like, no, not the Mexican people. I'm like, oh, the Indian? No, not the Indian. You mean the FBI guy?
Haitians.
No. Who is it? Haitians. That's right. They killed our cat. So she's like, no, like right across from our driveway. I said, oh, I don't know who's there. I'm like, oh, is that the one with the rainbow flag and has the Biden sign? And she goes, yes. And I get up and she's like, Matthew, don't do it. Don't. And I was out the fucking door. And I walk over to her house and Olivia is like almost in tears. She's so pissed. It wasn't this funny thing. She was mad. I mean, you're telling me how to take care of my kids, and who the fuck are you?
I'm having a hard enough time right now dealing with this. I don't need outside influence, especially from a fucking stranger.
Well, yeah. So I walk over to her house and I just stroll up, and I don't give a shit. I don't even know who it is. I don't know if this guy's like 6'7" in there. I don't know. And I'm just like, I'm knocking like the Marine Corps. And you expect, some sort of, sergeant on the other side, or gunny, be like, come. and she opens the door like this. She's like, yes. And I said, hi, are you Ann? And she's like, who's asking? And your next door neighbor. And she's like, I don't. And I said, don't fucking play stupid with me, lady. I'm 6'4" and 225. You can see me from your frickin' bedroom. You know who I am. Are you Facebook messaging my wife or we're at dinner right now? And she goes, yes. And I said, okay. I said, what the fuck is your problem? Can you please explain to me what my trash, how it's offending you and it's out the night before the trash comes? And she's like, well, I just wanted to. I said, yeah, you wanted to stick your nose in our business. And then you go down and read my wife the riot act and yell at her. You get her almost. Karen? No, it's Ann. And I said, and you get her in absolute tears. What the fuck is wrong with you? If you really want to help us, why don't you do what any of the other neighbors did who know what's going on because they actually are part of our lives, who walked over and said, how can we help, Hayden? How can we help you? Do you guys need a night off? Why didn't you knock over and simply just talk to us? Why'd you wait till we're out there to accost us? She goes, well, I said, because you're a fucking know-it-all and you're a busybody and you're a fucking liberal too at boot. Oh, by the way, thanks for fucking voting for Biden. We have to put up with that shit for 4 years, and I got to fucking live next to you. And I left.
Oh, you also said she called up on our flag, too.
Oh, yeah.
She called the HOA on our flag.
That's right. And I'm also like, what? And I got the phone call about the Trump flag that we had and also the Colorado Avalanche flag, and I fucking know it was you. Because nobody else in this neighborhood would be so petty and small. I said, why don't you do me a favor and play hide and go fuck yourself? And then I walked away. She's never invited us over. I don't know what's going on. She's
such a bitch.
Well, I mean, after those kind of warm greetings, yeah.
Whatever, fuck her. So, and I apologize for the language, but fuck her. You don't talk to my family that way. You don't talk. Yeah. I don't care who you are. Like, and then and she's like, line. Well, I'm gonna get my husband. I said, fucking get him. Go get him. Go get him. And this guy, he's fucking 86, and I'm like, oh, dude, forget it. She's gonna kill you soon anyway. You're good, dude. I don't have a problem with him.
She's a horrible person. When Yenny was gone, we went around to the entire neighborhood, me and the kids, just to see, has anyone seen her? Because we're going to do anything to find our cat. And we get up to her house, and she answers the door, and I'm like, sorry to bother you. I'm like, but our cat has gone missing. I showed her a picture. I was like, I'm just wondering if by chance you've seen her. Didn't she post it on Facebook?
Oh my God.
I said, yes. Okay, then.
And now I'm asking you.
Shut the door. I was like, what a fucking bitch. Right in front of the kids. I even said it loud on her patio right in front of the kids.
So you sound like Megyn Kelly right there. You're gonna get it later. So at this point, I get a phone call today from one of my neighbors, and I'm not going to disclose because I don't want to create World War III in our house.
That's the Democrats' job.
Yeah, but my neighbor is Trump. All my neighbors are Trump. I handed bracelets out to the fucking neighborhood. I gave them all their signs for Brandon Michon. I mean, I'm like, guys, come on, it's time to get serious. And my whole cul-de-sac is literally like Trump, like Haitians beware. Okay, and it doesn't matter what color, race, color, creed you are in this place. We have American Indian down there. They're all Trump fans. So today I get a text from my neighbor. I haven't heard from her in a year. I mean, our kids play together and stuff, but she knows me. They know me. They just know. It's like, dude, you can watch me on the show. You want to get to know me? Watch me on the show. I don't go and hang out with my neighbors just because I know who I am and I know that I'm an acquired taste. So I don't want to put them through that. But she goes, hey, did you see Ann's house? And I said, no, what the fuck? what's going on? She goes, it's covered with Kamala signs. Do you have Trump signs available for all of us? And I said, yeah, I've got some for you. And there's supposed to be something happening here soon where we're having a meeting with him and his team, and I get to go to Pennsylvania, and I'll see what I can do. And I'm like, I'll take care of you. I got you. I got your back, right? So the reason why is I have my Trump flag flying outside. Now, a house down the road just had all of the Trump signs spray painted and X'd out. Then someone on the corner, the city's property, threw all the Kamala signs. Now, people know not to fuck with my house. Like, everybody knows me in this town.
You have booby traps on the lawn?
They know, but no, they just know better. First of all, they know that you can't get within 150 yards of my house without me seeing you and without a 180 decibel alarm going off on top of my roof, which I do have. Motion sensors, I've got thermal detectors, I've got sound breaks, I've got it all. And that's just on the outside. So you can't even fart in the general direction of my home without me knowing. And I do that because of what I do for a living. And after all the threats, I'm like, screw that. So no, but even then they know. They just know. So this is what happens. So I go outside and I look, and she's got all of her Kamala signs and Tim Cano, the whitest Mexican ever.
Tim O'Cano.
Tim O'Cano from Virginia. And all that. And I'm like, she's doing this to piss me off. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to one up me. So I said, no, ma'am. So this is going in front of my house.
That's awesome.
It's 40 feet long. It's like 8 feet high.
Oh my gosh.
And it's going to be going in front of my house. And I've got the property for it. So this essentially is what I expect from the reaction. A preemptive video that I figured I would show you.
Look at this fool.
Because this is going to happen. This is going to happen next.
This is a complete violation of HOA. Look at this fool. Unbelievable. He's got to have every Trump sign. This guy is definitely, we're calling the cops on him.
Call the cops.
Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable.
Not allowed to have that?
Totally against HOA. Unbelievable. This is a complete violation of HOA. Look.
So,
oh goodness,
dude. I mean, can you grow some testicles? This is going to look so good on my house.
It is.
And it's going to piss some people off.
There may be a way to acquire some satellite imagery of that if it's that big.
Well, I'm thinking, and honestly, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to put Vaseline all around the letters so they're hard, they're slippery. And if it gets too bad, I'll do something uncool. But I don't imagine anyone coming on my property. My property's weird. Like, it's not easy to. My house is almost like on a motte. Do you know what a motte is? Not a moat, but a motte. Yeah. It's essentially, it looks like an angel food cake pan. And just imagine a house as wide as that little centerpiece of an angel food cake pan. So I have almost like a circle around my entire house of drainage and indentations. Like, I have huge slopes. It's hard to explain. But if you look at my house, an aqueduct runs through it, a natural aqueduct. It's not concrete, but there's a river and it goes through my backyard. But there's huge drainage all around my property. So it's like you walk off my driveway and it's like a 15-foot drop into a crevasse. And that crevasse goes almost all the way around my house in order to ensure that when the water flows from all the homes above me, that it goes into that crevasse and doesn't wash my home out. And that's something, we have our own freaking lake that we get to go ice skating on. It's awesome.
That is so interesting. God, you and I have. So the area where I just want to throw this out there, 10 seconds. I live in an area that has a very, very high water table. So much so that the city's actually named after that. And I'm actually at the top of a hill where when we get a lot of rain and because of the water table, that's the issue that all of my neighbors have except me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool. And nobody messes with us because like all my neighbors love us because especially like Dee, who is the one who was getting flooded. And she pulled a shotgun out and told people, hey, get off his property. I mean, we're a country place out here. I have an HOA, but the HOA doesn't fuck with me. They know better. They know better. So live quickly. They were doing a well easement, and they were going to tap this well. Well, we're a sanctuary for birds and animals out here because we have a shit ton of different species of. I mean, we have bears, we have possum, we have foxes. They have a lynx. We have it all. What's wrong?
There's one of those freaking lantern flies crawling on my computer. Yeah. It's on the top of my computer.
What was that?
There's lantern flies. We have them here, and they eat wood and pine, and they're very, destructive. There's one crawling on our computer. Never had one inside, but they're aggressive, dude. They put up their wings, and they will bite your ass. They don't. Hey, Liv, get it quick. It can't stay inside, or it's going to eat the hardwood floors. Do you need me to get here? No, it'll.
Get your gun. Get your gun. There you go.
Tell me when we're ready.
I call it.
Tell me when we're ready.
Those are called raid rounds, by the way, folks. Just in case you knew that.
Liv, did you get it?
Those are hollow pointed raid rounds.
By the way, in no way, shape, or form was anyone downrange from that, so we're fine. So anyway, needless to say, they were doing an easement and they were doing a property line check, and the reason why is our neighbor, our beautiful neighbor D, who is just amazing, is her property was getting washed out because every time it rained, it flooded her entire yard, and it literally created huge, like it was going to collapse her property and make a whatever it's called, a hole, giant hole. Anyway, so they tried to come on my property and measure. Well, Mike is the guy who's the HOA guy, and he knows me. And they said, well, we're going to go back there and do sight lines for construction and find out where this degrade is in the pitch that's pouring all this water. So they want to go ahead and come on my property. So Mike is like, no, you don't want to go on Matt's property without asking. And they're like, oh, everything will be fine. And they're like, no, you really don't want to go on his. Yeah. So Olivia and I are upstairs and we're having sex in the middle of the day. Swear to God, true story. This is not a lie. She'll attest. And we hear a knock on the door, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And lo and behold, it is somebody coming to measure on my property. And Hayden answers, and she does.
Like, I've got 8 inches right here.
Right. So Hayden goes in and he goes, well, young lady, is your mom and dad home? They go, yeah, I think so, but I think my mom's in the shower and I think my dad's playing a video game because kids don't know what the hell's going on. And they're like, well, we just need to go on your back property and measure real quick. And she's like, no. And they're like, excuse me? And they say, no. And just, well, you need to get your parents. And she's like, no, I don't, because I know what my dad's going to say. And the answer is no. So have a nice day. So they close the door. So I'm getting dressed, right? And Olivia's like scrambling. Oh my God, it's the middle of the day. We're having sex. I'm going to get dressed. And I'm like, oh, where are my pants? And they're on the ceiling fan. Oh, okay. So, I get dressed. Sure. And I'm looking out the window and I see like 12 guys in my back setting up, tripods to do, whatever that's called, sight lines through, engineering scope, whatever the hell it's called. So I walk out of the patio and
survey, right?
Yes, surveying. Yes, correct.
Survey. Yeah.
Good man. Doing a survey, and I grab my AR. I don't know who the hell these people are. I have no idea what they're setting up. I don't know what's going on. So I'm locked and loaded. And it's behind my back. I'm not pointing at anybody, and I go up on my balcony, and we're at a 3-story house, and I'm looking down on these guys, and I'm 25 feet above them, and I'm like, "Excuse me, gentlemen, can I ask what you're doing on my property?" And then D is across the way, and I see she has a shotgun. And she's like, Matt, I told him don't go on his property. He's not the problem, you idiots. You're the problem. It's your problem. He's not at fault. It's not his problem. I told you not to go on this property. And then I just bring the AR to the front, and Mike is over like by a fire hydrant across the street. And he's like, Matt, I told them. And they see, and these fucking guys just jump the fence and start running away. They leave their their tripod. I'm like, hey, don't forget your survey scope shit, whatever it is.
Shit, yeah. Don't leave it in my yard. I'll sell it.
HOA doesn't mess with
Well,
me.
they tried a couple weeks before that when you were in the office or something, and the kids were at school or something. I was home alone, and Mike knocks on my door, and I'm like, okay, because Mike's cool.
Mike's
I like
a good
him.
dude. Oh, very good.
And you know, they want to ask you some questions about your property. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And of course, Dee's out there. Don't answer any questions, Olivia.
Yeah, because Dee's awesome. Like Dee's no joke. She's just the woman that, you know, someone comes on her property and all of a sudden you hear she's out there blasting. What did you see? I don't know, but it looked like a rapist, and it's like a badger or something. So
they, you know, they're like, well, you know, Mike's like, well, they think that Dee's yard is flooding because of your fence, because of the backwash and the leaves and all the stuff getting stuck in the fence from when it rains. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'm like, we send our kids out on a regular basis to clear it. I'm like, there's no big deal. Do you see any debris by our fence?
We race boats in the water.
I'm like, do you see any debris by the fence? Well, you know, we think it's this property. If we could just cut a hole in your fence so the water flows more better. Oh my God, Cap. I'm like, excuse me? They're like, well, we just need to cut a hole in your fence. So I'm like, no.
No.
No?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? No. No. I'm like, just, and then they tried coming back, you know, but anyway, I'm sorry about the bug freak out. These things are
they're nasty.
That looks like a Silence of the Lambs type.
Yeah, they are
right there, yeah.
scary because they are like, they just like sit there. And then right when you get there, they jump at you.
Yeah,
and they jump at you.
It's no
I've
joke.
had to kill a couple of them, and man, it's like jumped at me. And
they're very aggressive. They do eat trees and wood and pine, and they can get in your house and do horrible damage. It's an infested. They're called spotted lantern flies,
and they're an infestation, and the government has told us to kill them.
Yeah, it's by order. When you see them, you have to. They tell you to kill them. So I walk out of my patio one day, and there's like 47 corpses all around. I'm like, Ethan.
It's like
he comes out and it's like, we were told to kill him. I said, can you brush him off the patio? I mean, literally, it looks like you know, communist China here.
Yeah, us Virginians take this thing seriously.
Yeah, we don't mess around.
There was one guy on our community Facebook page who posted, and he's keeping count of how many he's killed. He goes, I've murdered 15 spotted lanternflies today. He goes, I've come to taken of putting their heads on spikes. So the other spotted lanternflies know not to come on my property.
We're quartering, you know, we're putting north, south, east, and west around my property to send a message to the other.
We take this thing seriously, man.
All right.
Ethan
okay,
rips their wings off.
It said that they're from China. Is that right?
Japan.
Japan. Got it.
Japan, yeah, they're predominantly in Japan, and they did massive damage to the cherry blossoms out there, and they're an aggressive animal. Like they were chewing on my wood sign right out front of my house. One says home on it, and one was just feasting on it, and they're insane. Okay, we got to move on. First of all, it's 8:00. I just want to say, folks, thank you for the donations so far tonight. It's great. It really feels good. We want to try to get to that 1750 tonight. It's a good number. That leaves us for about halfway through the month to do 2,000. I think that's something we can achieve. So if you're out there, you have not had a chance to donate, we're going to slap a goal of another $170 on this tonight. And if you can help out with the Don't Unfriend Me show, we would appreciate it. It certainly makes the show easier to fund when we actually have funds. I don't know if you guys are aware or saw this last night. I will do it very, very quick. Is that this is a year ago. Now, on average, this is what I made on Facebook every month. So you're looking at about $9,000. Now, this $9,000 was for about 3 months, and I called Leeroy, and I'm like, Leeroy, we're getting real close. Like, once we get past 10, we're set, and we're ready to start doing revenue sharing, and we're going to help out. And we're getting close. And then they took our income. They stopped serving ads. You guys haven't seen an ad on our live show. We want to, but they don't play them. They don't play them on our videos. They took away Rights Manager for us. They took away our money from Reels. And this is what we made last month. $2.51. And you guys have seen the thousands and thousands of views that we get on our videos and our memes and everything else. $2.51 is what we made on our videos. It's highway robbery. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. So please understand that this is why we're moving to a donation model. And we took all of our ads off of our news channel. We took the ads off of this, and we are funded 100% by you. And what's great about that is that you get content that is not created by anyone but us. You will never hear an opinion on here that isn't our own. We will never push something that isn't our own. And nobody can really say that right now. I don't know many places that do the show of this magnitude and this size who aren't completely funded by somebody else and gets that programming checkbox on them that we don't have. So if you could do us a favor, you can help out. We appreciate it. If it's your first time watching or you've watched 100 times, anything you do to keep us going and get us over that mark, we'd appreciate it.
If I could add something to that.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah,
Go.
the link tap go thing, it's a great tip jar. But here's the even bigger piece to that is that anything that we pull for the show, a lot of times it's written by Matt. If you go to the don'tunfriendmeshow.com and look at the news tab, a lot of what he is saying is pulled directly from there. So a lot of times, like the stuff, the opinions and the updates in the news, it's already been written, and you're getting the live and kind of the theatrical portion of that. But that's what the tip jar is for, right? It's if you like what you're seeing, if you like the content that's being provided, and Matt does a fantastic job. You can read through this. You can read through this stuff during the day, and then when you tune in at night, you get our opinions.
Everyone does a great job on this show, and the good thing that I'm happy about is that with Leeroy and Amy, we were able to help them, and Jason was so kind to make them co-owners of Wimkin, or at least plank owners and investors. And it's something that we're very, very proud of, and we push Wimkin because we believe in the product. And like I said, it took us 1.5 years to even go there. So it's not like we just jumped into bed with him. Jason will tell you, he was very resilient, and I was not receptive. Nope. It takes me a while to trust people. So this is a great company. The Don't Unfriend Me show will continue to do this, and we thank you for your support. Pretty much we always do this at around the 9 o'clock hour, so thank you for tolerating us. We don't do any other ads except for that. Here's a video, something you will never see on late night. This is, hey, what's up, sexy pants?
What's the actual
What?
PayPal? It's not the link tap go.
What? Listen,
somebody wants our actual PayPal.
if you go to Link Tap Go, it is our PayPal. Go to linktapgo.com/thedumshow and click on donate. I will show you quickly how to do it. If you go to linktapgo.com. Oh, I forgot the dumb show. /the dumb show. This is a good one to know, y'all, because this has every single link that's associated with us is right here. So thedumbshow.com, the Dumb News, the Dumb Club, the Dumb Store, and you'll have a tip. I don't recommend the tip because they take a huge amount, but donate to the show is right here. If you just click that blue box, it takes you right to the Dumb Show donation, and you can donate straight with PayPal. What's great is that besides that, if you want to find out where we are on Wimkin, it's right there. Just click it. You want to find out where we are on Facebook, everything. So this is our entire network is all right here for you. Podcast, Apple, everywhere. You want to find us, it's right here. Leeroy was talking about the Dumb News a second ago. So linktapgo/dumb show. Now soon, this is going to be on our app. Our app will have all of this. So you'll have all of our links in one spot, but you can go to the news channel. I mean, everything we do is class. We don't do tchotchke shit. Our news page isn't full of ads and data crawlers, and we don't do any of that stuff. Okay? So that's how you do it. linktapgo.com/thedumshow. Who asked that?
Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate
Somebody
it.
wants to know, is it better to donate or do a membership?
Donations help the best. The membership right now, the Dumb Club membership, we're kind of revamping and rebuilding, and the members have been extremely patient. It's nice to have that, but donations, that helps. when you do a reoccurring or a monthly, that's the easiest thing because it's money we can count on. It goes right into the bank, and we try to give credit to every single person who helps out. So honestly, both but if it came down right now to donate money, that helps. But also if you want something for your money, then you can buy a shirt, buy coffee, buy hats. All of our stuff is 5-star rated. I don't know if you all know this, but we have one of the best rated sites on the internet. And that is not me being boastful. It's absolutely true. And I'll tell you why. I pay a premium. I'm a big fan of, why am I doing that? I can just do this. I'm a big fan of customer service satisfaction surveys. It's something that in my time in retail, people know I care a lot about it. But if you go down here, I pay for a service, and it's called Judge Me. And Judge Me is one of the most recognizable NPS customer sats on the internet. And if you take a look at this, it says a lot. We have 182 reviews out of 5. Now, the average purchase is 1 out of 10 leave a review. If that doesn't tell you something, people leave reviews. That's huge. We also have a few things here that just real quick, and then we can get back to the show. We have
wants to know if you can sell some.
We have a diamond transparency rating right here. So diamond means that it's the highest rating we can possibly have for transparency, which means we show every review no matter what happens. Even Santana's, where she gave us a 1 and didn't mean to. 182 verified reviews. Verified means it's actually a purchase from a customer. No fake reviews. Bronze authenticity. It means at least 80% of our reviews are published and verified. Monthly record, 10 verified reviews every month. Top 10 stores, top 10% in the entire world. And top 10% trending stores, which means our growth is in the top 10% of all online stores. Our stuff is awesome. It's comfortable. It's all printed in the United States. We have 7 locations in the US, 2 over in Europe, and 1 in Canada. We use an amazing company. Our coffee is made by veterans, and it's actually shipped from Wisconsin. All the documents of freedom and everything is made by PFC flags and shipped here. So anyway, it's a great company. We've done a lot of good things. Thank you, Goober. Appreciate you. All right.
What I was going to say is,
sorry. I didn't mean to roll over you, but that's like I'm in a thing. I was doing my thing. Go ahead.
Marky would like to know if he would like to come up and have him sell some MVD cards for us, most valuable dummy.
Yeah, most valuable dummies. As long as we hit that 20%. He used to work with me at Game Crazy, so he knows. We had an MVP card. Anyway, so that's it. That we took 5 minutes for that. We're gonna move on. Thanks everybody for tolerating that. I know people are awesome and don't drop off when we do that, but it helps keep the lights on, and we appreciate it. By the way, the For Which It Stands box sets are now available. I know Angel and Amy said they wanted them. They're available. I turned them back on for you, and I took the price and I took them down $10. I didn't feel good about not discounting them. So they're $64.99 now for the Documents of Freedom and For Which It Stands, and I took $10 off because I think it's the right thing to do. I know prices went up, but honestly, we want to make sure people get that in their hands. All right. Go into the next thing. This video. Now, we're probably going to get hit. Here's the funny thing. They took this off their website. They took it off, and they don't play it anywhere. You will not see this clip anywhere.
Does it have music in the background?
No, but they took it off their site. It's Stephen Colbert. And it's an interview with Donald Trump, and they took it down because I want you to listen to this. This is incredible.
Everybody loves him.
But they're going to hit me with copyright. They don't claim it. They don't want anyone to know it. But if I'm going to use it, they're going to hit me on it, and I don't care because I'll fight it. Watch this. You can't find this anywhere.
And I want to thank you not only for being here. I want to thank you for running for president. Trump is here. For you tonight, Donald Trump is here. Yeah. Everybody loves him. There's no other way to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump.
Thanks, Kev.
Kevin.
You got the money.
Haven't they? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Speaking of doing a fantastic job, you are setting the world on fire right now.
Well, we're having a lot of fun, and I think we're hitting some pretty good issues, Stephen. And
I want to thank you not only for being here, I want to thank you for running for president. Because I'm not going to say this stuff writes itself.
New Hampshire and Iowa, no matter where we go, it seems that the response, it just gets better and better. And the polls have been phenomenal.
You see Zogby?
Zogby was great.
33%. That came out today, right? Zogby, 33%. Incredible. I'm not surprised at all. I'll tell you why. Is because...
I'm liking him a lot.
No, I'm not. I'm liking you too.
When it all was changed.
I'm liking you too. I'm not surprised at all, because especially in the Republican field, because
of a country, we have to create, number one, we're going to build a wall. Number two, we're going to...
Okay.
Oh, listen to this, even with your crowd, I hear
No,
that.
they love
but we want...
they love the wall.
No.
People love the wall. Well, Donald Trump, thank you so much for being
Stephen.
here.
Good luck.
Donald Trump is
love the wall.
leader for the Republican nomination. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Donald.
One of the biggest critics of Donald Trump, and they are all that way. Everyone had him on his show. He was a rock star when he announced. If you remember, they thought he was going to ultimately just give it to Hillary Clinton and steal votes from the Republicans and run as an independent. They wrote checks to his campaign. And this is all of them. Jon Stewart, this guy, Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel. They all wrote checks to Donald Trump's campaign. There's a video of Seth. What is that Seth guy? And he was another. He writes a check to Donald Trump on the he writes a check to Donald Trump on the show, and he's one of the largest haters and donates to his campaign. Folks, this is insanity. They don't mean what they're saying.
Well, that's the manipulation at work. Right? That's the whole sleight of hand that they didn't take him seriously. They took him as kind of a laugh off kind of candidate, and they figured it would cause enough disruption within the Republican Party that nobody would ever win. And in the meantime, whatever the check was that they gave to Donald, I guarantee they wrote 3 times that towards Hillary.
Yeah, exactly.
And the idea is that if you can cause enough disruption within the Republican Party, then nobody will take them seriously. There would be so much infighting within the party that the Democrats, once they unified, that they would be a shoo-in. And guess what didn't happen?
Yeah. I'm going to move from this. People want me to post it. I'll see. Maybe I'll do a show on it, and because there's some other videos. This is Melania Trump. Liv, these next 2 are for you. I made sure I brought those in on this Friday night. Thank you.
I can't help but wonder that
I don't know if you guys know this, but I did an article today that I wanted you to be aware of, and it's pretty serious. And I don't like Blumenthal, and Leeroy and I don't like Blumenthal at all. Marine Corps, said he was in Vietnam, stolen valor, and not a very nice human being. But he is a senator from Connecticut. He's a piece of POS. But this got me nervous.
Arthritis?
Yeah.
Here are 3 natural steps that may help support your joint
Get him,
health.
Rumble.
Look,
Go
if
get
you've
him,
had
Rumble.
arthritis symptoms...
I think the American...
That's my page, so that's okay. That's my commercial. I get money for that. This is a little quiet. There's not much I can do. So no typing or anything. Listen up.
People are going to be shocked, astonished, and appalled by what we will report to them about the failures by the Secret Service in this assassination attempt on the former president. But I think they also ought to be appalled and astonished by the failure of the Department of Homeland Security to be more forthcoming, to be as candid and frank as it should be to them in terms of providing information. And we are going to absolutely insist on the truth and the whole truth in documents and testimony as members of the United States Senate, but also as citizens.
What did you learn new today when you said they're going to be appalled? What
I'm
specifically?
not going to go into what we have learned in specifics. I'm giving you my reaction, and we will have a report very, very soon that I think will.
I know you can't hear it. I'm going to explain it. You're just hold on.
Should about the lapses and lags in the protection that was afforded that day and the breakdown in communication, failure in responsibility.
Is that report coming today or tomorrow?
So this is essentially what it is, and then I want to play the other video. I don't want to get too big on commentary on this, so I'm going to explain it. Then we're going to watch the other video, and then we can talk about both videos. But this is Blumenthal. He's a scumbag, but this is scaring people. It's scaring people. It's scaring Democrats and Republicans alike. And this is what I'm hearing. I have not heard this from any other source. You may have heard this from another source, but I am not accrediting this source to anyone in this game who does what we do at a large scale or small scale. I don't care if they are Bongino size. I don't care if they're my size. This is my own conversations that I've had. It's my understanding that the people who were there predominantly, if you guys remember when we broke down the assassination attempt, and Leeroy and I broke it down, and I also told you the failures in the 5 areas of operational security, that they only succeeded in 1, which was surrounding him, and everything else was an absolute obligatory failure of epic proportions, from the tactical team to the exfil to getting him in the vehicle to not allowing him to pop up, all this type of stuff. It's my understanding that the people who were around him and the people who were involved were actually Department of Homeland Security. They weren't Secret Service. And their training for what they did, the entire extent of it, was a 2-hour online seminar with no physical training, no experiential learning, no tactical experience, no operational security or body experience. These people essentially had been through academy experience or previous academy experience, whether that be the police, whether it be the academy or FBI or whatever it would be, that when they went in, or military. Okay, so Tommy says Bongino covered this. I have not seen anything from Bongino on this. There's also my understanding that multiple of those agents have never fired a weapon. Ever. And most of them received a weapon when they reported for duty for Secret Service. You could tell by how some of them were handling their firearms and weaponry was completely a shit show and amateurish. I can't go into too much more detail, but there's also going to be a report on the funding was purposely cut. And even though multiple requests had been to expand funding for his team due to open threats, and when the FBI, or excuse me, Secret Service director, her name, whatever that lady was who quit, said that they had funded Donald Trump's team, that is a lie. They also are going to uncover that there was an inter-agency conflict between Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, local police, and any other agencies that were involved with protecting Trump, including Secret Service and any tactical teams as well. And I mean like open conflict on how he was being protected. Last but not least, it is also my understanding that in this report that there will be comments. I'm being very careful with what I'm saying. There will be comments that are surrounded by there was purposeful neglect with intent so Donald Trump would get hurt if there was an attempt. Purposeful neglect. disregarding certain protocol, disregarding certain boxes that needed to be checked, areas that needed to be investigated, sight lines that need to be eradicated from the environment, early response teams going out and actually checking mailboxes, checking, windows, checking unsecured buildings, those type of things. There was purposeful neglect and intentional dereliction of duty. So if something did happen, Donald Trump would get hurt. This is what I've heard. Now, Bongino has 10 times better sources than I do. So whatever Bongino says, go with Bongino. But if there's something that I have said that Bongino hasn't heard, which is doubtful to me, then I can corroborate it because I have not heard anything about this except for the people who I know in the Secret Service and other interagencies. This report is scaring people.
Some people need to go to jail.
Some people worse than that. So I did a report on this and I wrote an article. I have kept, you need to understand is that I am only telling you, and it's very important that I clear this up because I don't want to get a visit. What I am telling you is conversations that I have had in an unclassified setting, in an unclassified environment, without classified information. These are opinions. Some of it has been released openly by the people you're hearing from on that video and also some larger shows. But there are other things that maybe you haven't heard that are based upon speculation from within interagency. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I cannot confirm what I heard. I cannot provide any evidence of what I've heard. I can only tell you that it is people involved in agency who have been able to shed some light on what they had heard in an unclassified setting. Leeroy, can you go into why I am being very specific with what I'm saying so people understand?
Okay. There's going to be a number of agencies that will have access to this show. And if you are too specific with what you say and declare anything to be factual that may still be being investigated, that could implicate you to some degree.
Yes.
And the idea is keeping the conversation ambiguous enough to avoid that type of scenario.
Correct. And also, it's important to understand is that I'm trying to separate fact from fiction. And I can only tell you what I have heard. So and I want to declare the last thing, in no way, shape, or form were there any other conversations, document transfer, photographic evidence, recorded conversations, or sworn testimonies that I have in my possession. This is casual conversation between 2 people, 3 people that is opinion-based. So it's really important for me to say that. Now, the only other thing I'd like to know is did anyone hear that from Bongino or anyone else what I just said? Was there anything that wasn't?
I did not watch Bongino. You are my only source.
Yeah. No, it's fine. And I'm talking to the audience real quick, trying to get their pulse. But it's important for me to know that either way, Department of Homeland Security and Mayorkas, we know that Mayorkas has ties to Comey. He has ties to Brennan and Tapper. He is with that old guard of the top 6 agencies that were not Donald Trump assignments. These are people who are Obama holdovers. We know who Mayorkas is. We know he's a Biden supporter, but he also worked under Obama and had influence. If this report comes out, that there was purposeful negligence, then this changes that is an attempted coup d'etat of our government, and it's an attempted assassination that they are complicit in.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So we will find out in coming days how serious and not serious this is. We will find out with what I just gave you whether we're accurate or not. But I also, just like I told you the story about how there was a whistleblower for ABC, and I said to you, don't do it. This is unconfirmed. It's speculative. I have on good credibility this is not true, and I told you it wasn't. It wasn't. There was no whistleblower. There is no release. It's a lie. And I told you, I'm telling you now, this is what I've heard. This is what's being discussed. This is an unclassified, no physical evidence. It's not electronic intelligence. It's not photon. It's nothing. It's just scuttlebutt. And if it is true, then we all should be extremely terrified of what level our government is going to stop Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Agreed.
Want to say thank you to Amy for ordering Which It Stands.
Oh, thank you, Amy.
And Marky for ordering Documents of Freedom.
Outstanding.
Appreciate
Good job. Marky's talking about who can go into the administrator's.
Oh, Amy B is asking him some questions about a computer mom bot or something like that. So they're having a private conversation.
And Laura says, if Blumenthal says it's bad, it must be bad. Yeah. That is the biggest concern right now, Laura, is that people who normally would use this to attack Trump and support the Secret Service and say that Trump is just, they are not. It's like, okay, sometimes the government, even though they pretend they hate each other, they don't. They all work together. They've all went to the same fraternities. They've all went to the same sororities. They go to the same colleges. They served in the same units. They know each other, y'all. And they pretend that they have this giant rivalry and hate each other. That's not the way it is. And sometimes something like 9/11 happens or COVID, and all of a sudden you see them just unify because they go, okay, it's time not to fuck around. It's time to get serious because we can all be held culpable for this. This is one of those events. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If Blumenthal thinks it's serious, then we're in deep shit. Like, because you're not hearing Nader say anything. You're not hearing AOC say anything. You're not hearing Pelosi. You're not hearing Schumer. Nobody is saying that this ain't no big deal. Nobody's saying that this assassination attempt wasn't real. It's all the pundits and the TV shows and the Twitter blue check marks, but the politicians ain't saying shit. Right. They've been told on lockdown that this is serious. Go ahead, buddy.
And isn't that interesting that none of the politicians have made that claim, but it's almost as if part of the Democratic playbook is to, hey, we're not going to say it outright from the lips of, AOC or anybody else, but let's get this down to the second level of media penetration and make sure that that's at least hinted. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. And see, usually with these things, like when I did the bioweapon labs and blew that whole story up and everyone was buying into that, I told you it was bullshit. And Leeroy and I went through it and told you it was bullshit. When they went in and we talked about the ghost of Kiev, and I told you there's no ghost of Kiev because there is no Air Force for the Ukraine, and it didn't happen. When I told you about the Tennessee bomber and people said that Pac Bell Center was Dominion voting, and then I actually found the RV in the trailer that morning on Google and Google Maps and showed people, and then the news agencies had it 2 hours later. When we predicted the overall forecast, Mike Wazowski and I in 20, when it came to the election, Leeroy and I in the midterms and primaries, we're good at what we do when we do it. So people are like, "Oh, you don't know, and you know, and that's fine. I don't. I've been down that for the last 4 years, and my credibility speaks for itself. You can go back and even when we're going to talk about the ship collapsing the bridge in Maryland, in Baltimore. I was the only one that was destroying the narratives. There was all the shows were going in China, and it was GPS, and it was controlled. We were so spot on that coverage. I mean, we were shit hot on that coverage. We covered that thing for 5 days straight and brought you the most accurate and just solid information from captains to intel agencies to analytics to graphs to engineers to boatswains who have navigated those channels, the bridge size and weight and the overall collapse and how it wasn't thermite and why the stress fractures in the bridge took place and why it all collapsed, being that those two pylons ultimately, if one goes, they both go. I mean, we broke it all down for you. We're good at what we do. We don't take leaps. We don't go out on ledges. And we don't make declarative statements when we don't know. So this is not a declarative statement for the agencies that are watching. This is a conversation between people who have in some form or another relationships with these agencies. And this is a speculative conversation, and no confidential or classified information has been shared with me. So very important for me to say that repeatedly, because when I get that knock on my door, I'm like, listen, asses, I said none of that was classed, and it's not. Okay. Let's move on from that. And I want to go into this video because this ties in. This, Olivia, is Melania Trump.
Okay.
And you know what? I can't stand what they have done to this woman. There's something that I don't do, and I'll hold myself to a higher standard here. Even Michelle Obama, I won't let people insult her. I won't let people call her, even though I've done the big mic and I'm joking, but I'm talking about the photographs we all know and saying that she's a transgender. That stuff's not okay with me. And Melania Trump is a woman of immaculate class. And I don't care that she posed nude. Everybody poses nude in Europe. Leeroy and I, when we were in Europe, we posed nude. Everybody poses nude. But
can we get a copy of that calendar? Can we sell it on the DUM show?
Yeah, it wasn't a calendar. It was a his and his photo booth that we both went into at the same time.
Oh.
All right, so here is her comment. Listen to this, and I want you to watch Don Lemon underneath her, which Don Lemon looks like he's going to star in Philadelphia too.
I was going to say I didn't even know it was him.
Yeah, he doesn't look good.
No.
Yeah, they're gonna remake Philadelphia. And
you haven't so far zoomed out. I swear to God, I'm not making a joke. I thought for a hot second that was Goggins.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a little like Goggins, but he's not cussing, so you know it's not
God, he
Goggins.
looks awful.
He's not like fuck. You just fucking do it.
Don't be a fucking pussy. Yeah.
Don't be a fucking pussy. Today I woke up and I did 40,000 push-ups
and ran
on my
58
heels
miles
with my nose. I flew to the moon with my arms and back.
What's your problem, you fat fuck? Yeah. Fucking love him.
I love Goggins. All right, here we go.
The attempt to end my husband's life was a horrible, distressing experience. Now, the silence around it feels heavy. I can't help but wonder, why didn't law enforcement officials arrest the shooter before the speech? There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
It's a headache.
Yeah, I'm going to I got 10 seconds and I'm handing it off to Olivia. Don Lemon, you are a giant twat. I have never seen such an emasculated human being in my life. You just need to transition already and get it over with. What an effeminate male. What is the purpose of that? You looking like a 50-year-old Karen who just got done selling Avon. What are you trying to prove? Dude, Elon Musk, who has Asperger's and is a genius, made you look like a just a 10-cent clown.
Well,
That woman's got more. That woman's got more class in her thumb than you do in your entire pathetic Philadelphia-looking body. Olivia, your thoughts?
He's a piece of shit. I think he's trying to stay relevant, and he knows that he's not anymore, and his viewership is going down, and he knows no one watches him, so he's grasping at straws and trying to do anything to make himself relevant again. And right now, making fun of Donald Trump and the Trump family is relevant and is what he thinks is going to get him his views back and get him his viewership back. And I don't think he's going to, because I didn't even recognize him. It didn't even look like him. I mean, eat a fucking hamburger, for goodness sakes. My God, he's lost a shit ton of weight.
He doesn't.
Well, he's getting plenty of protein. I'll say that.
There's no doubt. A little bit of sodium and protein every morning, evening, and night for sure. And that's that new French recipe, Simon, right? Is that what it's called?
Oh, is that what that? Yeah, maybe.
I think it's pronounced Simon. Yeah, it's a delicacy. So he annoys me, and I hope he sees this one day and he goes, you know what? I'm on a whim. I'm just going to call in this low rent show.
Whatever.
Please, God, for the love of God, please do it. Just
So-
just make that mistake. I can't wait for one of these liberals just to catch on to this and make that stupid mistake. Go ahead, Leeroy.
To Olivia's point, the fact that his followers have hit basically bedrock, and he is on the verge of being a nobody. And he went from 2 different networks and got fired from each, and is now struggling to remain relevant. I think Olivia hit that one on the head, and this is just another attempt to try and squeeze somebody out of, that much spotlight that might still be on him. And what he doesn't realize is that desperation doesn't look good on anyone, sweetheart.
No, Pumpkin. What is up with black celebrities who turn white the richer and more ignorant that they get? Does
Where
anyone
are
want
the
to?
white women at?
They're bleaching their skin.
Dude, look at Beyonce, right?
It doesn't even look like Beyonce.
I mean, what the she looks like a Targaryen, for
Oh my
God's
gosh,
sake.
she does look like a Targaryen.
She needs to get on a dragon or something. I mean,
that needs to be her next album cover. Is her on a dragon. Sure.
I mean, seriously, I don't understand why these actors do the Michael Jackson. It's not just Don Lemon, it's Joy Behar too. Or not Joy Reid.
Wait, she went even whiter, right?
Yeah, no, she had black face. No, she had black face, remember? So that's that's different. But if you take a look, okay, here's Joy Reid. Okay? She literally, she just was the lead role in Black Panther 3 in this picture. Okay? She's even got the massive earrings. This isn't racist, folks. It's just fucking honest, okay? Sorry, I don't do racism.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Somebody just asked what a Targaryen is.
I'll explain it to him. You explain it to him in a second.
I know what it was either.
And then here's Joy Reid. I mean, she's getting whiter.
That one might be lighting.
No, it's not. Oh, okay. Let me. Okay, that's fair.
Might be.
No. That's
the other one was clear as day. She fell into a.
Okay. Okay. Lighting.
Wow.
Okay, lighting.
Yeah, no.
I mean, one is like Baby Ruth, and the other's Butterfinger.
Yeah.
It's just they're not the same, and
it's white face. It's white chicks.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm like, can we get her for white face? So what is a Targaryen, Liv? Tell them what a Targaryen is.
Oh, it's
just be quick, for God's sake.
It's a family from Game of Thrones. It's the House of the Dragon. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones, you wouldn't understand. So just watch Game of Thrones. It's an amazing show.
So here's my thing. So even if I was to show you Elijah Mistal, I mean, you guys know who Elijah Mistal?
I do not, actually.
Okay, well, He basically looks like Frederick Douglass if he ate Frederick Douglass. So,
My God.
Thank you.
So there's Miss Doll. Now watch this. Okay, remember what I told you? He has the disease too. Hey, thank you, Laura. We're almost there, folks. $130 away. $130 away from hitting our goal mid-month. Come on, everybody. Help us out. We're almost there.
Who's that black preacher with the big fro? What's his name?
Jesse, no.
Not Jesse Jackson.
With the big fro.
Isn't there a guy that he's like the black preacher?
No, you're no. You're thinking of
Are you thinking of Don King?
No. Don King has the big hair, but
Maybe I am thinking of him. It looks like somebody with the
Mike Tyson. Did he steal Mike Tyson's money? That guy?
I think so. I don't know.
Here, you're thinking of Cornell West, maybe. Cornell West is always on Bill Maher, and that's where you know him from. This guy?
No, I'm thinking of. I just picture him in front of talking on microphones. I can't. Everyone's saying Don King, so maybe that's it.
I'll show you Don King. Here's Don King. Are you thinking of Jesse Jackson?
Maybe I am thinking of Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Okay, well, Jesse Jackson don't have a fro.
Oh, okay.
Jesse Jackson has
Sharpton. Maybe it's Sharpton.
Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton's hair isn't that big, and
it just reminded me of him then.
Well,
I'm pretty sure Don King's fro used to be a lot bigger.
Oh, it did, and it did. He's lost some hair, but Al Sharpton's also going white. I mean, this is no joke. Here's Al Sharpton. Okay, now that doesn't look like he's going white, right? That's fine. But look at the left picture. Even the right picture, very black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know who he looked like?
I don't know, but hold on a second. Let me show you the picture. You tell me I'm crazy. Tell me that these nutso guys don't get more nuts the whiter they get. I mean, this is crazy. Okay, so who does he look like? Go ahead.
Pull up the fat one. Fat Al. You know what he looked like? Remember the Trading Spaces? The two dudes in the in the fat one who was sitting down.
Yes. Oh yeah.
When you came in here, you were crying like a
Yeah. Okay. So why do I say this? Because I'm a racist, right? Matt, you're racist. No, I'm not fucking racist, you idiots.
Who cares?
And I'm not talking to anyone on the show. I'm talking about the people who are like, oh, you're racist. No, because Don Lemon looks absolutely white. Now, I showed you a picture of Elijah. Here you go.
It would be career-ending for a normal politician. Also, to do things.
Look at this white chick in the middle. She's so confused. She's like, did I cause this? She is staring. Like I said, looks like he ate. That's what I'm saying. He ate Frederick Douglass. I'm not kidding. Here.
Oh God.
Okay.
Terrible.
You ready? Here
But
we go.
it's so good though. Yeah.
It is good. Thanks.
Also, to do things, Ellie, that one would think are career-ending. The way he desecrated Arlington National Cemetery would be career-ending for a normal politician. His constant lies. But even this piece about saying, well, my building was the tallest until, they brought down the World Trade Center.
Hey.
Now it's the second tall. I mean, everything he does is despicable.
The reason why it doesn't end his career is because his supporters.
Okay, I want to say something. And I'm going to be real.
Cholesterol check. That's what he needs.
Yeah, I'm going to be real clear. Okay, I have no problem with you because you're black. I have a problem with you because you look fucking ridiculous.
No, he looks like he ripped off the wig from Ric Flair from the 1980s.
You look like my grandma's grandfather's. And you got into an old British museum and stole a powder wig, Ben Franklin's glasses, and then Rain Man's outfit, and then you ate Frederick Douglass. That's what you look like to me. You're an idiot. You look stupid.
The pomp and circumstance of the English court.
Right. You look stupid. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous. All right.
Are just as despicable. All right.
Hey, Ginger192, just subscribe. Thank you so much.
Like Trump's whole thing, he's a narcissist, right? And so his whole thing.
Okay. Can someone please, why have the left started to embrace the word narcissist? If you are on a weekend talk, go ahead.
Because they are. That's projection, and it's defined. That's what that is. When the left are narcissists and then they claim it among somebody else, it's because they're telling you what they are.
You refuse. Nobody can Bobby, you're there. Thank God we're so close.
Bobby.
So close. $75 away. $75 away. Bobby Richardson, thank you so much. We're $75 away from hitting that almost midway point, but we're getting close. We're doing okay. Thank you so much, Bobby. You're the best. But they're all narcissists. I mean, you have to be a little narcissistic to sit here and talk to yourself for 2 hours. I'm a little narcissistic. I listen, how could I not be? I mean, look at this. Are you serious?
It just struck me who he looks like.
Who?
He looks like a photo negative of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
There it is. He's just out here to get a good time. He wants to get laid. But these, if I let you have an opinion, I don't tell you you have to think my way, otherwise you can't be a part of our group. These people say either think like us, have a hive mind, or you can't be a part of our group. Penny says, Matt, you're being racist and you're body shaming. Shame. I never said he was a fat fuck. I never said that.
I don't see what the problem is with body shaming.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, why not? How else are you going to get these people to actually get? I want to see him live. I want to laugh at him for decades. I can't do that because he's going to freaking have CPD and roll over and stroke out. I want him to live. So I'm going to shame him. Hey, well, how do you think I got fit? I got shamed into it. There's nothing wrong with shaming people.
Have that dude hang around with Goggins. Hell yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Flubber.
Yes, Eddie Murphy and Flubber.
Perfect, Tommy. Perfect.
You know what he looks like? Have you ever found a Q-tip in your like travel bag, like after 2 or 3 years?
Hercules.
Right, and your Q-tip has that like grayish hue to it, and it's fluffy. That's what he looks like. He looks like a Q-tip that's been stuck in your suitcase for like 2 years.
The lack of compassion and empathy for everybody else. It's all about him. That's why he lies about 9/11. It's all about him, me. He's probably the least compassionate president we've had in 200 years since Andrew Jackson. And it works for him because his supporters are just as ungenerous and have just as little compassion and empathy for others. So when he is seen out there...
Look at this white chick. She's just like, listen... I don't know if I agree. I'm just trying to look like Darla from the Little Rascals next to Buckwheat over here. But I don't know what that's what he looks like. Oh, Tay.
Mad TV, who finally got her first corporate gig.
He looks like Buckwheat grown up, you know? Like he was on the original Little Rascals. No, I know. I see her. She looks like Uma Thurman after too many milkshakes at the Jackrabbit Slims in Pulp Fiction. It's like she had way too many milkshakes.
Essentially, as
drove
you guys
all
have
the
put
points
it,
from the yard.
desecrating our national symbols. When he is seen out there putting himself above all else, his supporters also want that to be the case. They want to do that in their own lives. That's how they think of themselves. And that's why it never hurts Trump when he takes these crass and classless actions. It's because his supporters think that being...
I wish I was on the show because I just look at him and say, brother, can I just say something? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you going to make a point? Are you just going to just like verbally just like diarrhea all over the stage?
Right.
Make a point. We know you don't like Trump. Tell us why. That's why I'm treating you this way. Like if you had something intellectual to say, I would tell you why I disagree. You're just a miserable fucking human being that doesn't understand how to say no to Twinkies.
Too much hate, not enough salad. Yep.
And that right. That is why you're swollen, is because you hate so much. I mean, look at your hands, dude. Yeah. I mean, seriously, you're going to die, brother.
Yeah, I'm sure gout is knocking on your doorstep there, homie.
Linda Clark pushes us over the top. Bam! Thank you, Linda.
Linda, very much.
Linda.
All right. It's not quite halfway, but it's good enough. We can work with it. Thank you so much, Linda. You are the best. God, I love this team. Love it. We keep us going. All right, listen, I know we're making fun of this guy. And honestly, surprisingly enough, he's actually a very smart human being when he doesn't talk on CNN and MSNBC. He's not stupid. He is an activist. He's passionate. And I just think, unfortunately, that when they get on MSNBC and CNN, it's like, who can get to the lowest run? It's kind of like the limbo. Who can get the lowest we can go? And that's all they do is just spew hate on Trump.
Crass and classless is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and they also, he hates the people they hate. So when he makes up this idea that these Muslims in New Jersey were cheering, and they're Americans in New Jersey, cheering supposedly for the towers to come down, he's like, well, yeah, because my supporters don't like them, right? The same way that
and then this is the precursor.
Shut up, white
also
bitch.
to do things.
Hey, Whitey, shut the fuck up. Nobody's talking to you.
Exactly.
She's just there. She's just there. She's the token white girl. Listen, am I wrong?
No.
Am I? Why don't you just have an all black panel? Just do it. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Have an all black panel. But there's no diversity on that panel because everybody hates Trump. You shouldn't make it a DEI panel. You should make it a diversity of thought. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you very much.
It should be diversity of thought, not diversity of skin color. Give me a break. She's not there for any other reason. All right, last thing. Okay, I've been hitting Kamala Harris on her bullshit, and I've been
have hit Kamala Harris. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to show you a clip that you probably haven't seen. Okay.
Is it on YouTube?
This
I probably have.
Yeah. This is. Wouldn't that be awesome if that's her October surprise? That it's her just getting railed by the entire 3rd District Court. Just, and she's just like, from all angles,
right?
From all angles, just someone give me a moist towelette.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's not Kamala, it's Kamala.
Yeah. Kamala comes home.
Black Camelot.
Yeah, Camelot.
You thought King Arthur had a sword. She takes 12 foot of cock in Camelot.
Oh my God.
It's horrible.
Camelot 2, the backdoor connection.
Oh my God.
All right. So anyway, this is no way to talk about our vice president of the United States. You guys knock that off. So I found a video. Listen, I didn't have a big problem. That's not a lie. I've always disliked this lady. Now I just dislike her anymore because she's a fucking liar. She's a complete liar. She's just a liar. You don't like her because she's black.
No.
You might as well say I don't like her because she's a Jamaican Indian. I don't like her because I have just dismantled her entire debate. And I found this. This is Transgender Equality Conference. Remember when she said tax-funded gender surgeries in prisons is so crazy? So crazy. I'm not going to do transgender surgeries by using your tax dollars in prison. Why would I do that? I'm never going to do that. That's a lie. Donald Trump, stop lying about me. Oh, yeah? Well, here's Camelot. Chicks with dicks. Camelot.
Oh.
All right, here we
They
go.
were standing in the way of surgery.
Oh, shit. That's okay. There's only a woman there who's 6'7" with an Adam's apple the size of my Johnson.
Good Lord.
I'm being really aggressive. I don't know
How
why.
long is that there, dear?
I don't know why I'm being so rude tonight. I mean, this is horrible. I don't talk about people like this. Fuck it. I'm
Holy
sick
shit,
of them.
That lady's a giant.
I told you. Like Andre the Giant.
Jack Reacher's mother right there, yeah.
Andre the Giant's mom and Camelot in. God, anybody want a peanut?
Hi, Kamala. Welcome to our show.
Hi, my name's Bob, and I'm going to have Camelot Harris here.
Yeah, it's Bam. Yeah. That guy. Yeah.
Camelot Harris in Revenge of the Knee Pads.
The dump queen.
Oh, God. Every hole is available.
Oh my gosh, this is awful.
Kamala Harris tries nasal sex in. Stop it. This is wrong. You don't talk about our vice president. Listen, seriously. You know what? This is why. Because you're lying about this type of crap. You're lying about kids. You're lying about, taking gender dysphoria as not a mental issue, but some sort of physical issue. You're chemically castrating children, and you believe that it's a pathway to some sort of equality when it absolutely creates the opposite of equality. It makes them so very different that they can never find their place in society. These are lies. The late-term abortions, the lies about Trump being a racist. You deserve all of it. You deserve all of our ire. You deserve to be boo, boo, shame, shame, with vegetables thrown at you by the masses. Seriously, all of them. They're just reprehensible pieces of... Just listen to this and you'll be mad, and then you can say something. Here it is. All right. And then we're going. Oh, Twitter. Come on, Elon. Get it right.
Damn it, Musk.
Stop playing Diablo and get your ass to work. Okay. Let me find it. I know we're running late, but it's Friday. It's... Oh, shut up. Here
They were standing in the way of surgery. For prisoners. For prisoners. And there was a specific case. And when I learned about the case, I worked behind the scenes to not only make sure that that transgender woman got the services she was deserving. So it wasn't only about that case. I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need. And I believe it was not only, I know it was historic in California, but I believe actually it may have been one of the first, if not the first in the country, where I pushed for that policy in a Department of Corrections. That they were standing in the way.
2 girls in a genital cup.
I don't imagine if I was in the federal prison system in California and I just made that declaration that I'm actually a chick, can I immediately be transferred to the women's prison? How that's going to roll?
Yeah, no, you can't do that, sir. All right, so how about we end it with this? Okay, so another lie by Kamala Harris. Go figure. Oh my God.
It's outdated. I'm sorry.
So immediately, gender, feelings, neither gay or lesbian on the screen. Watch this.
What is this? Okay. What do you mean okay? This is the American flag. Why isn't this? Why is this outdated? And well, don't pull it away from me. Why is this flag hanging out somewhere? You're more than welcome to, but in my classroom. Well, you can't do it. In my classroom, we support everyone.
She threw that in the trash.
But do you understand your position as a teacher has a lot of influence on all these kids? You understand that? Okay, and do you understand your influence as a parent has a lot of influence on your child? I'm going to be supportive of my child, but you need to keep the American flag up. You don't take the American flag down. This is my classroom. What are you doing? This is my classroom. I don't understand it. I'm sorry.
Good for him.
Jeez, what a mess.
It's outdated.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Anyone who says that, just leave the fucking country. Go. We don't want you anymore. Leave.
So let me make
They
sure
don't want to leave. They want to change the country to what they think it should be, which is a giant red flag with a sickle and a fist on it.
Right. So can I just ask a couple of questions? Can we get back to the intellectual side of our show versus the dick and fart jokes? Even though I love it. I mean, I love doing that. I could do that all day. But what quantifies and qualifies where a people will no longer be included in the American flag? So what would it take? She's obviously saying with the LGBTQ flag, it will take people who no longer identify in the prototypical patriarch and matriarch and believe that marriage can be between a man and a man and a woman, a woman and a woman, a pansexual and a man, a hermaphrodite and a woman, and whatever the fuck, like the 64 different genders. Is that what qualifies that the flag needs to be remade and redone? Is it sex? Is it the color of your skin? Is it your ideology? What has expired that the flag has always identified? And quickly, the flags and the colors. Everyone knows what the colors of the flag mean.
Mm-hmm.
So the white is purity. You've got justice. Leeroy can look this up. We got the 50 stars that ultimately represent the 50 states. The field of blue. Sea to shining sea. We've got the 13 stripes, which are the original colonies. You've got purity. You've got justice. You've got honor. Okay, we understand what the flag is. What in that definition of that flag somehow eliminates your sexual preference, your racial color, creed? Can someone explain it to me? What are the qualifications?
Olivia, you go, because I actually have, I wrote a few things down. It's going to take us a second.
No, fine. Olivia, I mean,
that flag represents the United States of America, not the white people of America. Doesn't the straight people of America. It doesn't, it represents everyone in America who is an American citizen. And that's all. We shouldn't have to have rainbows and spotted unicorns and donuts and coffee cups and whatever else hell they want to put on their flag and their stupid shit on our flag because they think it makes it feel inclusive. That flag is inclusive.
Let me ask you a question. So they are saying that they need a new flag in order to represent everybody. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that flag does have multiple colors on it, and it does also include white people and heterosexuals. Supposedly that they've expanded the flag. They didn't. Now they have cisgenders on there and all that other shit. Okay. So what happens when we decide that we repudiate all those others? Doesn't that redefine our sexual orientation? Because they repudiate heterosexuality, therefore they get to change the flag. Well, we completely repudiate homosexuality in our lifestyle, so therefore now we are a new class of sex, are we not? So shouldn't we go ahead and take their flag down and put a new flag up? Where does it stop? So maybe the flag isn't designed to represent every sexuality or every demographic or racial disparities or financial disparities. Maybe the flag as a collective doesn't recognize an individual anything, but it recognizes the collective of the states and all people. And the flag is to define a lofty expectation for all of us as a united country. Maybe that's what it means. And if that's the case and that's what it means, then what they're doing is simply trying to stop what the flag dignifies, which is purity, which is justice, which is honor, which is a united country. Is it not? Wouldn't that be the goal? Help me understand.
I think that, to your point, because you and I already know that we're going to be in lockstep agreement. But I think the problem lies with the original question, in that we're not necessarily asking who the flag includes, but we're asking, the flip side of that coin is, who does the flag
exclude? That's a better question. There you go.
So I think the right question is, who is excluded? And when you ask that and we start talking intellectually, start trying to pull apart those facts, ultimately, when we talk about who is excluded, we're going to be talking to people who have a victimhood mentality, a victimhood mindset. And because that is more or less an ideology that says that they've never been included, they will always They will always want to take over the conversation. They will always want to make things their own, because within itself, when they start talking about how they've been excluded and trying to make things the way they want, they are excluding everyone else. You follow? That might have been a little bit, that might have been a little bit of Zen. I'm not sure.
I'll tell you what, man, it's probably one of the most profound things that you said, because you said the same thing, but you don't get to qualify and quantify what they said to show that what they're saying is true. You're going to disprove what they said by not even going ahead and validating their initial question. And you do that in debate. You do that in argument and say, wait a second, I'm not going to answer that question because the premise isn't accurate.
Right.
By me answering that question, I am saying that you're right.
Then you're buying into it. Exactly.
And I'm here to tell you that I adamantly disagree and vehemently disagree with everything you just said. So let me rephrase it. It's not about who does it include, but who does. Tell me who's excluded from the American flag. And isn't the American flag almost an organic symbol that ultimately does not require any qualification other than you are born in the United States as an American citizen to be a part and to be recognized? That's the qualification. It doesn't matter where you put your penis. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what your income is. It doesn't matter what your geolocation is. It's simply that you're an American citizen. And are you saying you're not an American citizen? Well, I am. Well, then you're included in the flag. You don't need a flag. You don't need a rainbow flag. Well, the rainbow flag is to address my sexuality. Well, then that flag has absolutely no reason to be in any classroom if it only individually demonstrates your beliefs. Because then you are excluding people all around you in that classroom based upon if they are not what you classify them with your names and your misnomers as being inclusive to that flag or not. So you're actually doing what you're accusing the American flag of. Oh, dude, what an argument, Leeroy. Well done.
Take it one step further. Take it one step further. I would say that the American flag itself is an ideology within it. That's what it is. It is an ideology, which is why if I go to China and live there for 30 years, I will never be considered a Chinaman.
That's right.
If I move to Germany, I will never be considered German. Same thing can go for there's 196 countries in the world. I can move to any one of them and never be considered South Moroccan, right? It doesn't work that way. But you can move to America and with relative ease, you can be considered American. That tells me that it's not about color or where you're from.
Yep.
Or what your sex is, or to Matt's point, where you stick your dick. It doesn't matter, right?
Right.
All that matters at that point is that you have understood the ideology of what it means to be an American.
Last point. I think the American flag is defined by our actions. And when people say, well, during the time of Francis Scott Key or during the time of Susan B. Anthony, black people were slaves and it's not indicative of who we are. Well, the flag has about 40 iterations of it since its conception. And it constantly is an ongoing organic entity that has evolved over time. And the actions of our country are forever written in that flag. And if anyone can tell me, is abolition not purity, vigilance, perseverance, justice, bravery, valor? Does it not take all those things to change the way we did or the course of our country through the lofty expectations of that flag? We may not have lived up to everything that we've tried to achieve, but at least the guide stones are within that flag, and it's adaptive to history based upon its ultimate goal of people to hold themselves to a higher standard. Not as individuals, but as a group. I think people misread what the flag is, and they don't realize that it's adaptive to change, and it's based upon the actions of our country and how we handle ourselves. And simply burning it or throwing it away or throwing it in a trash can is not indicative of what it stands for. And replacing it doesn't fill the gaps that you feel within yourself and the lack of society's compassion for your plight. You don't get to destroy the flag. You don't get to replace it because it's not yours alone. It's an interesting concept.
In a sense, when people burn the flag, they are literally, but metaphorically, burning the very freedom that they are exercising.
Yeah. Isn't that right? Right. It's kind of like, I'm going to go ahead and protest this spacecraft by cutting off my oxygen.
Right.
There are other ways to protest that space. Like the astronauts up in space right now who are stuck. They can protest, right? They can say, listen, we're turning off our radio between 4 and 6 and we're not talking to you guys, or we're going to eat an extra ration. We don't give a shit. Or we're going to go ahead and not shower today, no matter what you have to say. But you don't go ahead and kill yourself in the process. It reminds me of that guy who is protesting Palestine and lit himself on fire. I'm like, congratulations, you're now forgotten. You've been a topic for 3 days, and no one will remember what you did because you eliminated your ability to forever change people's minds because you just lit yourself on fire, you moron. Liv, close this out. Last word, 1 minute.
Last word. So I just saw a comment. It's completely off topic, but just saw a comment. It got me thinking. Wouldn't it be nice if the policies like free college or the $25,000 to new homeowners or the healthcare stuff, if those were on the ballots, not just the candidates' policies, but they were actually on the ballot, and you had to vote, yes, do you support this, or no, do you not support this? And then when it goes through, instead of saying this passed with 60% of the vote or blah, 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 they went through and actually said, okay, this person voted for it to pass, so they're in favor of it. And this person did not, so they're not in favor of it. So we're going to take all the people that voted in favor of it, they get to pay the taxes on it, and the people that didn't vote for it do not have to.
Yeah.
That would cure it real quick, because I guarantee those people who voted for that don't want to pay those frickin' taxes. I guarantee that would end it real frickin' quick.
So that is a very interesting proposition. But if you do that, nothing will ever get passed.
Yeah.
Nothing. Ever. And the best way I can describe it is everybody wants a new sports stadium until they have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what? I literally wrote down as you're saying that. I was going to caveat that with, wouldn't it be great if, along with Olivia's suggestion, at the end of every policy, it said, this policy will cost you, and you had to put that on the ballot. So if you wanted Medicare for all right, you can vote for that, but it will cost you, the person casting this ballot, it will cost you an additional $120 a year. How many people would vote for it then?
Yeah, propositions in California used to do that. Proposition 13, Proposition 72. I mean, these propositions will educate. But see, we educate voters and constituents on the wrong thing. We tell them what the bill is. We don't tell them the cost. We don't tell them what we have to take away out of the budget. We don't tell them the ramifications and the repercussions of their actions. And this is the problem with voting, is that ultimately we shouldn't vote on propositions. We shouldn't vote on school board. That is why we have elected representatives to represent us, and we hold them accountable if they do not vote what the constituency wants. This is the problem. And even though we have very separate entities of government, the way that we govern is honestly so far from where we used to be that it hardly resembles what we intended it to be, which was a republic and a representative democracy. It's not. It's ultimately, let me make the best decision for you because you put me in office, and I will go ahead and find out which political action committee and special interest will pay me the most so I can make sure I'm here for you when I run for re-election. That is not what we put you in place for. We put you in places to talk to your constituents, to listen to your phone calls, your emails, to listen to the protests, and decide what your constituents want, not what's best for you. This system of government is broken because it no longer resembles what it used to be. Great conversation. We got to go.
I want a big shout out to Chevelle's daughter, Abby. She is here and she's watching.
Wait a second.
So, hi,
Abby's
Abby.
on here?
Chevelle's daughter.
Yeah,
Abby.
I know.
Mhm.
It wasn't Abby the person who was a little hesitant to watch?
I don't know. I don't know that story.
Well, there's a couple people who've said that they want to watch the show. Somebody said that somebody was watching last night that their mouth was agape.
I don't know.
They were, well, this is important because last night somebody said that, and I can't remember who it was. And I think it was somebody who their child was kind of a liberal and fairly Kamala Harris, and then watched the show and was like, oh my God. Like, I had no idea. Who was that, by the way? If someone could shout out that. And Abby, welcome. It's good to have you here. Chevelle
Welcome,
is...
Abby.
Yeah, someone we care very much about, and it's good to have you here. That's her daughter?
Mm-hmm.
So she's, well, Chevelle's like 35, so Abby must be...
Like 10?
It must be 10 years old. Yeah, it's good to fucking have you here, Abby. All right, well, welcome, and we appreciate everybody who stopped by tonight. Thanks for watching the Donut Friendly Show. We'll be back Monday. We'll have a recorded show. We'll have news, and we will see you. Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Oh, I was just going to say I wanted to throw out a quick comment. Is my last minute kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
I know how I feel because I always get forgotten. So
real quick shout out to Kyung. When we were talking about the flag thing, Kyung had mentioned in the chat that he remembered something from his naturalization class and oath. Remember, I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. And it was ultimately leading up to this comment. Citizenship 101. American flag represents the people of the United States, not just the government, not just the citizens, but all of the people who live in the U.S. That is so well said. Thank you very much, Kyung.
Except for cat-eating Haitians. You know.
Yeah, not them. Fuck them.
Not fuck them. So thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Folks, remember, when you hear something, take a second, pause. Don't absorb. Somebody asked me today, one of our good friends who was a listener, and she goes, Matt, all these rabbit holes. How do I stop? And I said, stop looking for rabbit holes and start looking for the truth. And they plug up real quick. Rabbit holes plug up super quick when you change your mindset. You stop looking to go down these caverns and twisty, windy roads of speculative thinking. Speculation is called daydreaming. Do you understand that? And our parents used to tell us, stop daydreaming. Stop speculating. It's basically shit in one hand and wish in the other. Tell me which one fills up first. Speculation is dangerous. Speculative thinking is dangerous.
True that.
And if you're not aware that you're doing it, is that you have a very real possibility of convincing yourself and start doing confirmation bias. And your brain wants to believe what it sees, and you will convince yourself that it's true the farther you go down the rabbit hole. So stay out of rabbit holes and close them. And if you find that you just look at it and go, oh, wait a second, this has some validity, then go a little further. And go pee.
no, Ethan's on right now. He's on YouTube. He says hi.
Dude, what the hell are you wearing?
Hi,
What the hell
Ethan.
are you? I just banned him. I just banned him. I'm kidding. No, I didn't.
Good.
See his picture? See his picture? He's got his glasses on and he's with his buddy Jack.
Yeah.
They're in an arcade right now.
Hilarious.
Ethan, love you, buddy. Good to
Miss
see
you, Bubs.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, thanks for watching the Donut Friendly Show. God bless. Leeroy, thanks for staying a little extra. We'll see you Monday night. Appreciate you. God bless. We're going to go out like we always do, but I have to go out with VCL. Go over to Wimkin, follow, like, share, subscribe, and get signed up on Wimkin. I have no idea what he's doing. Tongue face.
He called me mom again. So real quick, last night he called me mom for the first time ever. He always calls me mama. And when he called me mom, my heart broke a little bit. And I slowly
Aw.
die inside. He needs to call me mama until I die.
I'll call you mommy. You can call me daddy. Good night. We're
He
gonna
needs to always call me mama.
I know. We're gonna go enjoy. We're gonna go enjoy our weekend. Leroy, thanks for being here. Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
God bless.
Leroy.
Ethan, we
Thank
love you.
you for the donations, everyone.
See you guys. Thank you for the donations. They've been helpful so
Love you,
much.
Bubs.
Love you guys.
Bye, doll.
Thanks. Bye.
Boreanis with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important, you are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.